All right, welcome to another episode of Alexploring. We are here in Wyandot County checking out some historical markers. Let's start with our first one. All right, we have the Killdeer Plains Wildlife Area, feature of Ohio's Prairie. This is number 588, placed in 2003. Prairie grasslands were once widely scattered across western Ohio, one of Ohio's best remaining prairies. Killdeer Plains is dominated by tall grasses such as the big bluestem and plays host to some unique species of wildlife, such as the eastern masaga or swamp rattlesnake. Prairie grasslands are one of the state's most rare types of wildlife habitats in the state. Named for the killdeer, a shorebird, this is part of a wet prairie that was once spanned some 30,000 acres and boasts a tremendous number of diversity of native wildlife. There you are, the Killdeer Plains Wildlife Area. Let's head back to the car. Let's get going to our next stop. All right, we've made it to our second stop here in Wyandotte County. We're here to see this Ohio historical marker number 388, the Lincoln Highway, conceived by leaders of the automobile industry to encourage the building of, quote, good roads, unquote. The Lincoln Highway was established in 1913 as the first transcontinental automobile route in the United States. Traversed 12 states and 3,389 miles from New York to San Francisco. The first route across Ohio connected Van Wert, Delphos, Lima, Ada, Upper Sandusky, Bucyrus, Galion, Mansfield, Ashland, Worcester, Massillon, Canton, Minerva, Lisbon, and East Liverpool. By the 1930s, much of the original route had become part of the federal highway system, and US Route 30, which we were on, many of miles of which have in turn been bypassed by modern four-lane highways. And then to the back is a map here of the Lincoln Highway. You can see where we are in Upper Sandusky, goes all the way to Lima, goes all the way across the northern third of Ohio. So this is the first historical marker we've seen with a map like this. Pretty cool. But the Lincoln Highway here is now Route 30. So if you find yourself traveling through here, you might be on the Lincoln Highway. So let's go on to our next stop here in Upper Sandusky, and we'll continue on our journey. All right, we're here at the Wyandotte County Courthouse, where we'll find our next Ohio historical marker. We have to wait for the light to cross, but this was only a short half mile at most from the Lincoln Highway historical sign. So there, it looks like there's a county sign here, 1,000 feet east, site of Fort Ferry, main headquarters of General William Henry Harrison's army in the War of 1812. Many of his soldiers who died in battle are buried in this courthouse yard. It's an interesting antidote. And then we have our Ohio historical marker, number 688, Wyandot County Courthouse and the Shawshank Redemption. Wyandotte County's third and current courthouse was constructed from 1899 to 1900, designed by the firm of Yost and Packard, the architects of courthouses in Wood, Harrison, and other counties. The building is a wonderful example of Beaux Arts classicism. The third floor courthouse was featured in the 1994 motion picture The Shawshank Redemption, based on a Stephen King novella. Director-screenwriter Frank Darabont chose the courtroom for the opening scenes of the movie, which features Academy Award-winning actors Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. Many courtroom extras were Wyandot County residents. A time capsule inside Lady Justice atop the dome contains a copy of the movie commemorating Shawshank enthusiasts who supported the statue's 2009 restoration. The restoration of the building was complete in 2015. The courthouse and adjacent jail were listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So this building here was featured in The Shawshank Redemption, one of our all-time favorite movies, not only of myself, but of many Ohioans and Americans and movie lovers alike. So I know this is one of the first Shawshank stops we're going to make, but here it is, the Wyandotte County Courthouse. All right, we are here on East Church Street, where we will find our next marker here at the cemetery. Just a half a mile from the courthouse. And we are here at marker number 288. The departure of the Wyandotte Indians. The 1817 Treaty of Fort Meigs opened much of northwest Ohio to white settlement. In return, the U.S. government granted the Wyandotte Nation permanent use of the Grand Reserve at present-day Upper Sandusky. There, farming continued, a school was built, and in 1824, this mission church was constructed by Indians and Methodist missionaries. Right there. Nearly 200 years later, we are here. However, the Indian Removal Act of 1830 called for a relocation of all eastern Native Americans to areas beyond the Mississippi River. By 1840, all Ohio Indians had been removed except for the Wyandot, who refused to leave, preferring instead to stay upon their beloved Sandusky, now known as Killdeer Plains. So the Wyandot stayed at the Killdeer Plains that we saw earlier in the video. Facing considerable pressure from federal authorities, the Wyandotte Nation in 1842 agreed to relinquish the Grand Reserve and move west. From this site on July 12, 1843, 664 individuals began their week-long journey to awaiting steamboats at Cincinnati. The Wyandot were the last organized Native American people to leave Ohio, settling in modern-day Kansas and Oklahoma. So it's continued on the other side. Departure of the Wyandotte Indians. In remembrance of the Wyandotte Indians, the branding iron design used by Wyandotte Nation in the late 1700s. So a cool graphic here on this sign. Right here in this very old cemetery. We'll have to come back and check it out. Need to make it to the final 3 historical markers. Let's look at this. This is the United Methodist Church sign, founded by John Stewart. This is the first Methodist mission in America. Founded by John Stewart, a black man, in 1816, the Wyandotte Indian Mission became the first officially recognized mission of the Methodist Episcopal Church in America 3 years later. A stone mission church was built on the spot in 1824 under the supervision of the Reverend James B. Finley. The Wyandotte Indians worshipped here until 1843. The building fell in ruins in later years. It was restored in 1889 and designated a National Historic Shrine by the General Conference of the Methodist Church in 1960. So we got a bonus historical marker here commemorating this church that was built by local Wyandotte Indians. All right, let's head back to the car. All right, so we have made it to the final stop in Upper Sandusky. We have 2 more left after this, but it's for this building here, which is the Shawshank Redemption Wood Shop. This is historical marker 788. Placed here in 2017. This brick structure, built around 1905, is all that remains of the Stephen Lumber Company following a fire in 1978. Wood shop scenes in the 1994 motion picture The Shawshank Redemption were filmed in the building. Director Frank Darabont and Academy Award-winning actor Morgan Freeman, other actors and local extras, and the production crew completed the film's woodshop scenes in August of 1993. The Wyandot County Courthouse is also featured in the film. We know that from the historical marker that was placed there. And then this side is all about the Stephen Lumber Company. In 1888, John Shealy bought a lumber yard from the Stoll brothers. 10 years later, his son Charles F. Shealy and partner Edwin F. Steffen formed the Shealy Lumber Company. The business had a, quote, well-equipped sash and a door factory and an extensive lumber yard, unquote. And many area homes contained components made by company craftsmen. The Shealy Lumber Company became the Stephen Lumber Company when Shealy sold his share of the partnership to Steffen in 1911. Pretty awesome piece of history here. I know that there is a whole Shawshank Trail. You can see here on the side here, official movie filming site on the Shawshank Trail. So if you really like the Shawshank Redemption, want to come visit Upper Sandusky and see some of the filming locations, this is going to be one of the stops that you make. You can see on the inside is like a gathering hall where you can have like a wedding reception, a party of any sort. So yeah, come out and see this lumber mill that was featured in the Shawshank Redemption. Let's head up to Carey. We're going to see two more Ohio historical markers, and then we'll wrap up for today's video. All right, we are here at the next historical marker, which is the numbered 188, placed here 96. We've been here before. It's the Colonel William Crawford historical marker. The cemetery is down that road, but we'll link the video where we went there earlier this year in the description. Colonel William Crawford was a lifelong friend of George Washington. He was born in Virginia in 1722. He married twice, first to Anne Stewart and later to Hannah Vance. In 1755, he served with Colonel Edward Braddock in the French and Indian War. In 1767, he moved to, quote, Stewart's Crossing, unquote, Pennsylvania, near the Youghiogheny River. During the American Revolutionary War, he raised a company of men, commanded the 5th and 7th Regiments, fought in battles in Long Island, Trenton, and Princeton, and built forts along the way in the western frontier. In 1782, he led the Sandusky campaign into the Ohio country and was subsequently captured by the Delaware Indians after the Battle of Battle Island. On June 11, 1782, he was tortured and killed near the Timothy Creek near this marker. A monument dedicated to his memory is located about a quarter mile north of here. Counties in Ohio and Pennsylvania are named for Colonel Crawford. On the other side here, we have information about the 1782 Sandusky campaign. At the twilight of the American Revolutionary War, British forces hired American Indians to conduct attacks on pioneers living along the Ohio and Pennsylvania border. In response, the 13th Virginia Regiment, an over 400-man mounted unit formed by General William Irvine, was led by Colonel William Crawford to destroy the Sandusky towns of the Wyandottes and Delawares. This volunteer army departed Mingo Bottom on May 5th, 1782, and headed west into the Ohio country. On June 4th, they met an Indian force at an area called Battle Island, located between Carey and Upper Sandusky. The Americans held the field but withdrew when the British reinforced the Indians with Butlers, Rangers, and Shawnee Indians. He was tortured and captured and killed by Delaware Indians. And it's right in the middle of a field here. You can literally see them prepping the field. We have one more left. Let's get going. Wrap this video up. All right, we are here at our final Ohio historical marker, numbered 488. We have Sheridan Cave. Indian Trail Caverns, first opened in 1927, is one of many caves that occur on the Dolomite Ridge, traversed by State Route 568 in Wyandotte and Hancock counties. Sheridan Cave, a karst sinkhole associated with the caverns, was discovered in 1989. It has collected a remarkable record of Ice Age animal and human activity in its sediments. Excavations have revealed remains of many extinct late Pleistocene epoch animals, giant beaver, stag moose, flat-headed and long-nosed peccary, and short-faced bear, among many others that were sealed in the cave by glacial deposits more than 10,000 years ago. Paleo-Indian tools, including projectile points and scrapers, are evidence of the earliest known human activity in this region. So there we are, the final historical marker here in Wyandotte County. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and like and comment below in the comments section. Let me know what place I should go next in Ohio. With that being said, history is only a stone's throw away in Ohio. So make sure to get out there and learn more about our history. Take it easy, guys.